today's episode we'll be making the neck for our guitar. I have a piece of mahogany here that I really like. You can use maple. I don't think it sounds as lively as mahogany, but it's personal preference really. A nicely figured maple neck will look really nice on a good figured maple back, so that's one good reason to use maple. I just like the tone of this mahogany a bit better. I'll be starting by planing this side here and this plane, and then make one side perpendicular to that, and it all has to be straight, of course. I use my machine to do that. If you use a hand plane, then you can look at episode number 3 of the Spanish guitar making course right here on YouTube, I suppose, and have a look how that's done by hand, but I'll be using my machine here. I've thinned the wood down to 19 millimeters or 3/4 of an inch, and then with the template of the headstock I draw a line here perpendicular to a center line, and I set an angle of 12 degrees, and that's going to be the cut that I make. Like this. So I'm going to cut the wood like this and then flip this side over and glue it to the back of the neck, and that'll be our headstock. Okay, so here's how we glue the headstock to the neck. You put a piece of oven paper here, so things won't glue to your bench. Then this one's important, this clamp here, because you'll be putting the headstock against that, and it's going to slide later. It's going to want to slide, so this one stops that headstock from sliding. And we put glue to the back of the headstock, and gluing the headstock to the neck like this has a big advantage over other methods, and that's that the headstock's going to be nicely clamped between the fretboard and the neck, so it won't break as easy as on, well, let's say one-piece necks, or like the Les Paul kind of neck, or so generally your one-piece neck. Don't need a whole lot of glue. Just a loop. So put the headstock against that clamp there, then place the neck. So, and I put these here. Oops. And you use 2 blocks to divide your pressure. Let's see, I have it here. There we go. So leave this to dry overnight, and then tomorrow plane the excess material. When the glue is set, the headstock may protrude a little bit above the surface of the neck, and so we have to get those two in line, and we use our jointer to do that. Okay, so the part that was sticking out of the headstock is now flush with the rest of the neck again, and I've drawn some lines on the neck, but it's not very clear on the mahogany, so I'll show you on a maple neck. I've drawn a center line here, and perpendicular to that, right on the edge of the headstock and the neck, is a line that indicates where the headstock veneer is going to be, and 5 millimeters or 3/16 back from that is a line that indicates where the fingerboard is going to start and where the nut ends. And then I indicate the 12th thread and the 14th and the end of the neck where the dovetail is going to be. So, and then I'll need something, the leftovers here are going to be used for the tongue, that's going to be right on top of the soundboard, and to build up the neck. The neck block, sorry, that we're going to make the heel out of. But first we're going to install a truss rod, or route the channel anyway. So I want the truss rod to be adjustable from the headstock side, and so I'll put it in like this. And to do that I have this guide here and a collet on my router. It's a 6 millimeter bit in there, so about 1/4 inch, and this has a width of about 1/4 inch. So I'll route the channel and put in the truss rod.